Hi everyone, this is Carl Amaya with LiveSync.com. Today we're going to be looking at messages out of our iPhone Essentials class. So let's go ahead and get started. So from your home screen, go ahead and go to Messages. When you go to Messages, we're going to go ahead and explore a few different things here, guys. So the first thing that we're going to be looking at is the top left, Edit. When you hit Edit, you'll notice that this red button on the side of each of the threads that you have comes up. So what that means is that I can go ahead and touch that red button and that I can delete the whole thread. So if you wanted to delete certain threads, this is the way to do it. And then by pressing delete, you'd confirm the deletion. If you wanted to cancel this, you can touch away from it and then hit done on the top left to exit this mode. The next thing that we're going to look at here, guys, is on the top right, we're going to be looking at a pen and scratch pad. So if I go ahead and touch that, it's going to go as a brand new message that I'm sending out, and it's going to ask, who do I want to send this to? In this instance, I'm going to go ahead and type in Carl, and I'm going to use my number here. And now I'm going to go ahead and at this point either leave the person that I wanted to send a message to only, or as it's noted here, the cursor is right where it wants you to add another person. So I can do one of two things. I can type in a number or another person's name, or I can go in and hit my plus sign over here on the right, and it'll go through all of my contacts and say, well, who do you want to select to add to that? So let's say, for example, I wanted to add H&R Block. Let's just give it a wing here. It adds that to my thread here and my list of people that I want to send it to. But for now, let's go ahead and delete that. So I'm going to go ahead and backspace. And now it's just to Carl. So now, let's say I want to go ahead and write a message. I would touch over here where it says iMessage, and I would go ahead and type in whatever I want to say. So in this instance, I want to say hi. And let's say we also wanted to add a picture on here. This icon over here of a camera directly connects with the camera on your device or the photo gallery of your device. So if I were to touch this, it's going to say, do you want to take a photo or video, or do you want to choose an existing photo or video? In this instance, I'm going to go ahead and choose existing just for demonstration purposes. And I'm going to go to LiveSync. Out of the different albums that I have, right? I'm going to go to LiveSync. And now I'm going to choose a picture from here. So let's go ahead and choose, let's choose Lolita here. I can either cancel this and choose a different one, or I can just go ahead and choose this one. I'm going to go ahead and choose it. It directly attaches to my entry field on my message. And if I wanted to, I can go ahead and click on the camera icon again, and I can attach more pictures. For now, I'm going to go ahead and just hit send. So there's the picture and the text message that I just wrote being sent off. Now, let me show you a few other things here. So now, let's say I got this picture from a picture thread that I had, and I wanted to save it. It's very common for people to show pictures, and I've seen this a million times at this point, where when they want to show you a picture, they go through the message thread that they originally got the picture from, and they haven't saved it to their device yet. So at that point, that picture only lives under messages. It does not, at that point, go to your photo gallery, where all your pictures that you've taken or downloaded have gone, right? So here's how to do that. So by touching the picture that you want to save, so as an example, this flower here in Arizona, I touch it, it opens up, and I have an option on the bottom left here to either message it to somebody else, mail it, or maybe attach it to a social network, or I can save the image, assign it to a contact, copy it, or print it. So those are the options that you have. So there's a lot more options that you have that when you do receive a picture that you really like from a family member or from anybody that you received a message from or a picture from, so make sure to explore those things, right, guys? So instead of just having it in your messages, you can do more things with it, and be aware of this functionality. For now, let's go ahead and press cancel. Let's go ahead and touch where it says Carl on the top left here. And now we're going to go back to our messages. So now another thing that I want to show everybody is how to copy something and paste it over in a different area. So as an example, let's say I wanted to copy a text message here and then go and attach it somewhere else. So let's say, for example, this, right? This is a link, as I can tell here from the www and the HTTPS information. If I touch it, it'll open up in my Safari web browser. I don't want to do that right now, but I can, right? So that's something additional. If you touch that, it'll go directly to your web browser, but I can also press and hold, and it's going to give me information as to what I can do. I can open it, which is the default setting whenever you touch a link. I can add it to a reading list, meaning that it'll go to my Safari web browser and it'll add to a reading list, which there is another class, guys, that has to deal with reading lists in the Safari web browser. And I can also copy it. So let's say I wanted to copy this for somebody else. If I click on copy, although you cannot see that this is copied, similar to maybe your Mac or your PC, whenever you right click and copy something, it's still attached temporarily to a clipboard, if you would. So now I can go to an entry field, touch there, press and hold, and as soon as you see this zoomed in bubble, I can release, and now I can paste something over. Paste. And now I can hit send, and I just sent that link over. So now, another thing that I want to show everybody is how to edit a message that you've already written. So let's say you're halfway through a long message that you're sending somebody. Hey, today we are doing a class on messages and a few other things. Let's say I misspelled that. How are you? So now I noticed that I messed up here, right? That's not how you spell things. And I want to go back there and fix that. Well, there's, you can always try to kind of figure out where to touch, right? That's one way of doing it. It's not very effective, and it takes a while, and sometimes can be a very frustrating experience, especially if you were in the middle of a long message, right? I mean, then you have multiple, misspells and so forth. But the other thing that you can do here, guys, is if you press and hold, remember that press and hold functionality is to copy things, but also to get additional options. But also, it'll give you a zoomed in version and a much slower acting version and moving version of what you could have done without this, right? So now I can go specifically and surgically make that change. So now I'm right where where the letter is that is messing up that word. I can release. Now my cursor is exactly where it needs to be. I can hit the delete button, and now there it is. So now let's say I still had messed it up. I'm going to click away from that, and that word is still messed up, right? One of the really nice things about Apple products too is that if you were to touch something that's underlined, or it's kind of giving you a red flag on, if you were to touch it, it'll give you the best suggestion of what that word might be. And then I can just hit the word right above it, and it'll say, well, that's what you meant, things. Now I'm done with that. So that is some of the functionality, guys, in messages that I want to share with everybody. If you have any questions or any issues, go to livesync.com, go to contact LiveSync, and shoot us an email or give us a call. Thank you very much, and have a good one. Bye-bye.